I'm not a good artist. If this represents a wheel of your car, the axle of the wheel is 100% centered. Why? Why is the axle of the wheel totally centered? What would happen? It was even a fraction of a millimeter not centered. What would happen? You'll have vibration. It'll wobble. When it's 100% centered, you can drive with that car for thousands of kilometers and the axle is always there. Because there is no vibration, the axle goes up and down with the wheel and it's not stressed. You will change tires because they've been used and everything, but the axle remains because it's 100% centered. Now, if the axle was displaced, as I said, then the wheel will if it's only minor, then there will be a vibration. And even that can be detrimental to the axle, and also the ride won't be as comfortable because there's always vibration. But if the axle, is away, far away from the center, then the wheel will wobble and it will be a very uncomfortable ride, and in no time flat, the axle will eventually break, get destroyed. If you take this as an example, this wheel, if you take this as an example of your personal universe, and what is a personal universe? Everything that is associated to you. Your work, your family, your friends, even the postman, even the little shop next door where you go and buy your pan. Do they still eat pan in India and they spit this red thing on the floor? Oh, what a mess.
North Indians will do that.
Yes. So, I'm going to be the next Prime Minister so that I can ban pan from North India. It's terrible, these red marks everywhere. You think it's blood when they spit out? Yes.
It is more in Calcutta.
In Calcutta?
Yes.
Interesting. Okay. So, if everything that is associated to you, your friends, your family, your school, everything, it is easier to know what your universe is if you know what your personal universe is not. For instance, what is not your part of your personal universe? The Queen of England or the Princess of Wales. You have nothing to do with them. Okay? You know about them as well. Okay? Even Mr. Modi is not part of your personal universe because you don't have direct contact with him and you don't have direct dealings with him. But everything else with which you have a dealing is part of your universe. Now, part of your universe is also your various activities that you do and all that. Considering that, so if this is your whole universe, and these are the various components of your universe, where are you situated in your life? This is your school, this is your mother, your father, your friends, your problems, your business, everything is around here. Each one is one of the variables of your personal universe. Where are you? Where do you find yourself?
At the center.
Nobody. I have not met one human being, not one human being that is centered. You know what human beings do and why they die so young? And why there are so many ill people? You know why there are so many problems of health and economy? Because people are not centered. Why? My boss keeps telling me I should use the mask, the microphone. The reason is that people, instead of being centered, they are not here. They are not even here. Where do you think they are? They're totally out of the universe. And then they try to manage the various factors and variables of the universe individually. They turn around this, then they turn around that, and while they're doing this, they're worried about that. And I would go crazy. I would go crazy. And the only reason I'm 83 is because I'm not crazy. Some people might think I'm crazy, but I'm not crazy, and I'm healthy because I am centered within myself. And this is nothing special. It's not an extraordinary feat. It's only a question of knowledge, and then applying that knowledge and logic. Because my left side is very strong, my right side also, because I can play music and I love music more than mathematics. But most people, they are totally out of the universe. They try to manage everything. Their children, their cooking, their laundry, their postman. Oh, the house has to be repaired. Oh, my husband, I hope he's been... Oh my God, I would go nuts. I would not even want to live. They are here, out here, and from here they're trying to control everything. And the universe is... If you're centered, the universe turns around you. And then what happens? If you're centered, the universe turns around you, the universe is turning around you, and you can concentrate on the thing that is in front of you. So you are having dinner, you're concentrating on your food and your dinner and enjoying it. And you're not worried at what time your flight is to Chennai or whatever. Okay? And then because the universe keeps turning around you, when this thing is in front of you, you're concentrated on that particular variable. So one thing at a time. And Vishal asked me why I was sleeping in the car. Was I very tired giving the lecture? I said no, because why should I waste my time thinking and looking and asking and all that and talking? I've finished working, I have nothing to do, you're driving me back to my hotel, and I just want to close my eyes. And once I close my eyes and my head touches a pillow or a rest, I fall asleep. Because I have no thoughts, nothing. So in the morning, my wife very often, she says, you know what I dreamt? I said, I don't know. I was not. She says, did you dream anything last night? I said, I don't dream, I was sleeping. She says, come on, you must dream something. I said, I was sleeping. She gets very upset. She said, tell me what you dreamt. I said, I don't know, I slept. So, see, this is the difference. That if you're centered, you can be relaxed. You concentrate only on what you're doing. Right now, I'm concentrating only, and that is why what happens is I lose time. I can't work saying 5 minutes for this, 5 minutes for that, when I'm giving lectures.
I have one question, sir.
Yes?
When we are in the center, say for example, I have at 10 o'clock I have a flight to
Yeah.
Chennai.
Yeah.
So 7 o'clock I will have a breakfast.
Yeah.
At that time I'll be in the center.
Yeah.
So I'm concentrating. If time process at 9 o'clock out, if I miss the flight, so how will I...
No. It's not that that you are not aware and that you are not organized. You are aware that you have only 15 minutes to take your breakfast because you have to take the flight. But you are not concerned what will happen, will I get the flight, will the flight be late or not. You are considering food, then you go to an airplane and you are considering that. It is very simple. If you analyze yourself, you see this man who talks such crazy things has right. If you concentrate, if you really analyze your life, you say, yes, he's right. We are all the time confused. We are all the time worried. All the time. There's not a single moment when you are relaxed. And then you meditate. And what's happening in the meditation? Everybody is praying to God to solve their problems or I don't know what. It's true. People, why? If I meditate, and I told my wife, don't. Kill me. If you see me meditating, get a gun and shoot me. Because I've gone crazy. And I said, for me it's boring, it's something waste of time. You know? I think man should not try to understand God, or reach God, man should understand himself and God within him. And this is something that the God within him, if you get yourself centered, if you get yourself organized, you won't believe how much good you can do to humanity. I've seen dogs suffering from Parkinson. They get attack and they start shaking. I put my hand on the head and the dog stops shaking. A lady comes into my office shaking. She's 67 years old, Italian, very wealthy. She says, "Sorry doctor, I have Parkinson." I look at her and I says, "Sit down." She sits down. I did what I had to do, and I could see already while I'm talking to her, her hands are not shaking anymore, her jaw is not going anywhere like that, and all that. Everything is calming down, calming down, calming down. I asked her to close her eyes. I did a couple of little energetic things that has to do, because I can transmit energy through thought. Everybody can transfer energy through thought. You can also transmit energy through speech, and when you meet and when you see, and the energy is even stronger when you see me or I see you. And the more you approach, the stronger the energy field is. That if you have a heating system there, it warms the whole area. But the closer you go to the heating system, the warmer it is. And when you touch the heating elements, they are the hottest. So this is the reason that when you go to the temple, already when you are approaching the temple, you can feel its energy stronger and stronger. And when you are in front of Lord Ganesha, then the energy is maximum. And when you bow down to him and touch his feet, then you feel his energy even more. Now, you can do that also at a consciousness level without physically going to Lord Ganesha, because your main element is your soul. Your true identity is soul, not the body. So if you can do it with this aspect that you don't have to go physically to the temple, but you go through your consciousness, and then you see how much you benefit from religion. Nobody can call me an atheist, saying, no, God doesn't exist. I'm talking of God doesn't exist as a person, as a human being, as a form. He exists as an energy. It's a consciousness, and consciousness is the highest form of energy. That you're one with this entire creation, and there's everything and nothing at all. Okay? So when my patients call me, they already feel good, or when they think about me, when they have a problem. And they say, I was having a problem, I closed my eyes, I thought about your words and you, and somehow something happened. Because automatically then again his own system is ignited through the thought, through that energy. Okay? But then when a patient comes to me and I touch him, then the energy transfer is even stronger, like touching the heating system. Okay? And it ignites definitely much better and so on. And you can take it more easily. And this is exactly what I did with her. And by the time, when we finished, she says, I can't believe I'm not trembling anymore. And honest to God, 5 days later, she calls me. I had already left Germany. I'd gone to Germany because Italy, because I have an office in Italy and I live in Germany also. And I have an office there. She called me 5 days later and she said, my doctor says that my Parkinson has disappeared. And then I said, but don't stop your medication. Don't throw away your medication. Ask a doctor to help you reduce it very slowly, step by step. And do as he says. And she's totally off Parkinson medication and she is perfectly well. Now what is this? Did I cure her? Yes, it would be humble. If I said to you, I cured this lady of Parkinson, you should shoot me. Because I'm a liar. No. It's her own energies of immune system, her own soul energy, this what is life. When it's ignited, when you put it back in harmony with the body, then the body behaves according to what this energy, divine energy, one tells. And I have done this repeatedly, and I can do it again and again, I'm sure.
Where is the center? How to visualize that man in the center?
No. You become the center when you start concentrating only on things that you are doing. And that you are not all the time lost and running left and right, doing this, doing that. No. One thing at a time. I say, I can't put on my underwear and my pants at the same time. It's inconvenient. And there is a sequence to things. You have to take your breakfast first before you take your plane. And the same thing, I have to put my underwear on before I put on my pants. And if I'm confused and put on my pants and then want to put on my underwear, it doesn't work. So being centered means that you are conscious of yourself. It is self-consciousness. It sounds like being egoistic. No. And also this concept that you are the most important person in your universe. Your mother, your father, your neighbor, your friend, your lover and all that cannot change, do anything for you. You are the most powerful for yourself. And that's why you are the most important, not them, not your mommy, not your daddy, you. But that doesn't mean that you don't love them and you don't respect them. But first you, like this girl saying, but how can I tell, I don't want to displease them, I don't want to make my father and mother unhappy. Now she's totally out of her center. If she was centered, she says, no, I am the most important person, I decide what I want to do in my life. And then the logic automatically falls in when I told her, but do you think your parents will be happy that you marry this guy and afterwards, a year later, they see that you are so unhappy? And then what happens if you become sick and you die or you commit suicide? You think your parents will be happy? She said, no. So you want to make your parents unhappy? Marry the man they're asking you to marry. Then surely they will be unhappy one day. You know? But if you say no, they will be unhappy now. But then when they see that you married the man that you are in love with and you are happy, then they will become happy also. So I want you to understand that being centered is that you put yourself in the first place. If you don't eat, madam, you will die of starvation and you can't feed your children. So you and your husband have to survive in order to make them survive, if they're kids and so on. At 24, he can somehow manage. So there is importance that you give to yourself. But the cardinal importance is you. So I am the most important person in this world. I love and adore humanity and my wife and everything. And I am willing to give as much as you want because I have unending amount to give. But I am first. I have to be sure that I'm in good health, that I'm happy, that I'm self-confident. Yes.
Isn't it self-centered?
This is exactly, but self-centered in a positive sense. And this is what is wrong, that we have been teaching children and society
Not to be the self-centered.
not exactly self-centered, not to be egoist. No, I'm not teaching egoism. I'm trying to teach the value of each individual life. Each individual life is precious. How can I say that her life is more precious than hers? No. So if I am for me first, and I can then give to her, and if she's also centered and she says, I'm first, that doesn't mean she's taking something away from me. Yes?
Actually, it doesn't happen once you get married, so you'll be having your family and you have to look after them also, and you feel little outside, you don't care about you that much when you're taking care of your family. So you let back yourself for some time.
Absolutely.
But after that, once you come to know that you have something within you that needs to be attended, then you will consciously say, oh, now I have to do something.
That's right. This is what I call being centered, when you become aware of this. The fact that you look after yourself, that doesn't mean that you're not going to look after your children. But what would happen if you don't care for your health and everything? My God, this is terrible.
Yeah.
Like this man yesterday who said, problems, how do we face all these problems every day coming? This man is he's neurotic. And
that is what happens with especially housewives.
Yes. And his wife was telling me, and his son was telling, my God, he's running, he's all the time. He was not there for lunch. We had lunch with his family, but he was away. He was working and doing and all that. And he reads books of all these great philosophers of India, thinking that that is compensation that is driving him nuts. And he's going to die of a heart attack. And if not, he'll have a problem with cancer or something, because your immune system goes down and you're susceptible to colds and all sorts of illnesses and everything. So don't. You are more important than your parents. And if you're happy, then they will become happy. At first they might not be happy. But afterwards they will start saying, yeah, look, our daughter is so happy, she's married to the right person, they are doing well. Yeah, here. There's one of the daughters, she don't want to marry the men her parents were telling. She married the man she loved. And now she's a beautiful baby, and everybody in the family, all the relatives and everybody, very disappointed. I said, God, I wish I were a tyrant. I would shoot each one of them. They don't deserve to be on this earth. They create, through their prejudices, so much suffering. And now that they see that she has a beautiful baby and the husband is a nice guy, she's happy, he's happy, now they accept it. If I were her, I would say, go get lost. You did not accept me when I needed you to back me up for my marriage. And I had to marry on my own. And now you're saying you're happy, you want to see the grandchild and all that. I would not let anybody touch that grandchild first. It was my child. I said, you don't deserve to touch my child. You didn't want this child to be born of me and this woman. Or this woman can say me and this husband. So, you see, I'm a rebel. I'm truly a rebel. Even as a child, I was a rebel. And that's why my father has problems. Imagine a young boy telling his father, it's not my mistake that you are my father. He created me without asking me. Had he asked me, I said, no, you're a Gujarati and a Patel. No. I'm joking. My community will be very upset. I have no prejudice against them, but I like to talk at times in a naughty way and tease people. But no, I have no prejudice against them. But the fact remains that Gujaratis are business people. And so watch out. If you do business with them, remain away. Don't fall asleep like me. I hope there are no Gujaratis here apart from me. And he's recording all this. They will banish me from Gujarat. I've not been to Gujarat. I left when I was a small boy, and since then I've never been. But even then, I love them also. Yes, I'm there for them too. But for you people, I want you to understand that you are the most important element in your family, not your wife, not your children, you. They depend on you. And the same thing, vice versa. Your wife is important for herself, and if she's happy, if she's strong, then she can back you up. But if she's only worried about you all the time and not about her, then she can fall ill, then she can be unhappy. And what sense does it make? Why make my wife unhappy? Why make her worry about me? You know? Yeah? So what I'm asking you to do is something egoist, but in a positive sense. Is that you become sovereign over yourself. And you can see, you judge for yourself. I'm totally self-confident. I can talk to millions of people at the same time. I speak 8 languages. I don't know how many degrees I have, but that's irrelevant. Degrees don't change from a person being an idiot. So I said, I hope my degrees have changed me and I'm no more an idiot. But believe me, you want what you want, you will get it if you really want it and if you believe in yourself. So even as a small boy, I want children to learn that they should obey their parents because they are responsible for their safety and their well-being. But they should be able to discuss with their parents their thoughts and their feelings in a nice, respectable way, and then find the right solution so the parents also understand their children. And this, I think we should teach in the school, not just mathematics and grammar and alphabet. What is very...
It's like organizing our own life in our own way.
Yes, absolutely. But but we do take consideration of our neighbors and others. You know, I can't imagine being centered, organizing my life, and then putting on music so loud or my television so loud that my neighbors can't sleep at night. I said, no, I'm centered. This is my interest. I like loud music. That doesn't work. There has to be harmony. People have to reach out to each other. And the fact that I reach out to you doesn't mean I'm going to lose something or that you will lose something. You know? I have found that love and niceness, kindness to people brings so much joy to me. I get more than what I give, honest to God. And I have so much to give. And I beg humanity to take from me. And I promise that I will not charge you if you can't pay. People, when they come in consultation and so on, their obligation is not to pay. If they have the money and they can pay, good, because that makes me live, and I don't live in luxury. I live very comfortably, very nicely. Nothing is missing in our life. But I don't want them to be under stress that they have to pay. No, they should come to me because they have a problem. And if it's a young girl, what do you want her to earn money? Then she used to ask Papa or Mommy, and then she feels embarrassed and she says, okay, I won't go to Mother. So when poor people come, young people come and they can't pay, no. But there's one thing, whether it's young, poor or rich, I will kill that patient if that patient does not succeed in that what she or he wanted from me. So if you came to me for a problem and you don't solve it, then I will punish you. That is important. I want you to achieve for what you came. So even if you pay, you have this extra obligation that you should attain what you came for. So if a patient is ill, then that patient should be cured, and if he doesn't, then I say, watch out, your illness won't kill you, but I will. So get going and get cured. Yes, I do threaten my patient, but in a loving way. They know that I'm kidding. Any questions? Don't be shy. Yes.
So you said you have to visualize your thoughts, whatever you want to be in life.
Yes.
Like visualizing is indeed a meditation, right? Which
Yes.
is you have to arrange your thoughts in a way it has to go.
Yes.
So how can meditation be stopped? I mean, that's a process of life. When we want our thoughts to be clear and in a way which it leads to success or whatever you want to be. So how can meditation be stopped? Meditation should be a process of life, right?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
For me, I never meditate, but I'm talking in the way you meditate.
Yeah.
I say that every single breath of my life is a meditation. And I'm not bragging, I'm not talking nonsense. Now I'm serious. To me, meditation should be a constant state of consciousness.
Yeah.
And you can see that I'm capable of being funny, I'm capable of being rough and harsh, and I can be very, very strong and affirmative, but I'm still always in a state that for me is essential for life. It's like breathing. And most people are not even aware of their breathing, but I'm aware of my state of consciousness and being. And the most beautiful part of my life is this feeling of great love and gratitude to humanity. Gratitude and love. Because this humanity makes me happy. And then when I see this humanity suffer, then I say, my goodness, don't suffer, my child. Take, here. Realize yourself, become that what you want. And heal yourself. I will help, I give. I give my energy, I give my knowledge. And I'm very fortunate that the mother gave me the spiritual background and the occult background. And I obtained academic degrees from the best universities in the world. How many scholars do you know who have gone to Harvard? How many doctors you know who got that kind of training? So I was very fortunate that I was blessed with the top universities of this world in Boston and New York. And also, I've taught in top universities as a professor. So I think I'm very fortunate that the Divine or the Mother gave me all this opportunity And she told me very, very early in my life when I was having experiences and asking her, is it my fault that daddy died? Because I knew that father was going to die. And I was the only child who did not grow up in the family. I used to live in a boarding. But then I was the only son that said to my mother and my father, okay, I'll go with you because father was getting operated in a hospital in Bangalore. We passed by Bangalore. There's an American hospital. And there it was supposed to be a very good hospital. So he was going there for an operation. And my mother was going. But none of my brothers and sisters who had benefited from his wealth and his generosity volunteered to go with my mother. Everybody had an excuse, including my oldest brother. So I went because I knew that daddy will die and that I want to be with him at the moment of his departure. And I was only 17 at that time, I think, or 18. And so I thought, is it, because when you're young, you have all these ideas, was it a wishful thinking because I was always in conflict with daddy, but I never hated him. And so when I confessed this to the mother that I knew that daddy will die, and that's why I went, is it why he died because I knew that he was going to die? And she said, oh no, my child. You are born with capacities to see things in advance. You'll understand all this thing with time. And then with time, she explained me every time I came for my studies and everything. And I had long discussions with her about occultism and energy that everybody can and everybody has, but nobody uses. And you have to use it at least for yourself. But even more beautiful is that automatically that you become and you automatically give to others. And you won't believe how wonderful humanity is. So when I think of this, then I also have hesitation about eating non-vegetarian food. This sentiment that we have to kill something to eat. No, but I do eat, but preferably vegetarian. And my wife the same, that we want to get away from it just because of this aspect of this compassion and love. Why should I destroy something to survive? But when I eat, I enjoy it and I love it. So be strong, be centered, be positively centered and egoistic in that sense. But don't exclude the rest of humanity. Don't separate yourself from them. Become one with them in harmony. And you will not lose. You will not lose. You give. You will not lose. Give everything, as much as you want. And you will see that you don't lose. It's the law of this divine creation. This is spirituality. Listen, I want you all to have, before you go, no, are we seeing them after the dinner?
Yes.
Then we will give you after lunch, because I want to do I want you to do certain things as an exercise. And I hope you don't find it difficult or boring. It's not difficult. But you will see that when you do that exercise, you will discover what your own inner powers are. Honest to God, you have to start developing your own inner powers and capacities. And you see, it's very simple. It has nothing to do with intelligence. It has nothing to do with a God-given gift. It is there. It is in the divine creation. Hey, you are Hindus. You should understand what I'm trying to explain. I'm a lousy Hindu because I don't know everything about Hinduism. But from little that I know, and from everything that Mother has taught me, I know what I'm saying. So you know Hinduism. Now apply it. Don't use this as a fanatical tool. I'm not at all interested in politics. And I know what's happening roughly with our new government and this conflict of religions and so on. And I fail to understand the sanity of that kind of logic. Sri Aurobindo had said that India is one nation, Bharat, and one day it will be all united. This artificial division of India into West Pakistan and East Pakistan is only a human error, and everything will get organized one day. But then if you are going to be united, and it's going to be one, not India but Bharat, and I think in the past they called it Bharat. In Bharat, there was no question which state is Muslim or Hindu or Christian or Buddhist. So what are we going to do with everybody who's not a Hindu? How can it be? It's one nation. And we have to see more beyond this one nation. We have to see that we are one humanity. So I have no discrimination against any particular religion or any particular nation. And not even against the Patels or Gujaratis. Let's have lunch. Buon appetit. Buono appetito. It's Italian for good appetite. भूल गया जब थोड़ा थोड़ा आता है तो थोड़ा थोड़ा बोलूँगा हिंदी में 63 years old है मैं बहुत spoken हिंदी but I can understand very समझ सकता हूँ सब कुछ समझता हूँ गुजराती भी समझता हूँ बोलने के लिए मुश्किल होती है गुजराती भी मुश्किल होती है कॉन्टेक्ट्स नहीं है मेरे जर्मनी में और अमेरिका में इटली में नहीं इंडिया का प्रॉब्लम है कि हिंदूज इंडियंस वो रहते हैं सुपरस्टिशंस आई डोंट नो हाउ टू से सुपरस्टिशंस इन हिंदी अंधविश्वास एंड दैट इज नॉट रिलीजियस दैट्स नॉट स्पिरिचुअल ये बहुत इट्स बहुत नेगेटिव है बहुत इट विल क्रिएट लॉट ऑफ ट्रबल and it is creating trouble to you. You know, such crazy ideas that if you touch something with your left hand, then it's impure. Or if you share your food with somebody, it is ये नहीं share करना तुम्हारा खाना दूसरा लोग के लिए नहीं भगवान ने दिया है सबके लिए it's for everybody. ये left hand से दो कि right hand से दो दाया भाई माय गॉडनेस बहुत मुश्किल है देखो आपने क्या करा मेरे के लिए मैं मुश्किल में हो गया कि हिंदी में बोलो सब लोग लाफिंग हंसते हैं नहीं इफ यू आप भगवान में बिलीव करते हो दया तो आपको ओपन था यू हैव टू बी ओपन Oh, no, I think
We can continue in English.
yes, I'll have to talk in English because otherwise we'll be speaking forever. My stammering and stuttering will be difficult. But when we meet individually, it's easier. So basically, superstitions and fantasy ideas, they don't take you any further. Matter of fact, they create a lot of harm. And so try to understand that spirituality has to do with you. It's not for finding God. अब spiritual नहीं होता है भगवान के लिए for yourself. Spirituality is when you start becoming centered, when you start feeling things with consciousness, doing things with awareness. And so you know this is correct, this is right, this is how I want to do it. And if you are mistaken, you can be corrected. And you can say, I'm sorry, I will redo this. But never, never, ever do it because they say that dharma, our religion says it, or God says it, and so on. No, you do it because it's right. And spirituality, you don't have to reach God. I don't know why I have to understand God if I can't understand myself. And this is exactly what I said also to people from the space agency when I gave a lecture in Dallas, Texas, that they send out rockets to the moon and men to the moon and everything. They've created all these machines and so on, these scientists. But when it comes to themselves, they don't even understand their own feelings of the heart. That they come with love problems or emotional problems or other conflicts inside them. I said, my God, you have the brain to create all this technology. Why don't you use it to understand yourself, your own emotions? Kya hua? What's going on with this world? Why do I have to find God? What does it do? What does it give me? Life is now. Here. You have to live today, not tomorrow. And today, you have to make sure you eat. Don't worry about tomorrow. You'll come. You'll eat. But if you're worried already today, before eating what I will eat tomorrow, that's totally waste of energy. Honest to God, I speak so much, but my mind is so quiet. Human beings think 52 to 55,000 thoughts a day. Imagine 55,000 thoughts in a day go through your head, and most of them are stupid thoughts, unimportant, not intelligent, not of importance. What a waste of energy. If आप चिंता करते हो तो you are wasting so much energy. कौन चिंता करता है? तो तुम्हारा आपका faith भगवान में किधर गया? So if you have faith in God, no, it's a hypocrisy. I have faith in God, but I'm worried. I say, hey, decide either one or the other. So to me, I found out God doesn't do it. Every single thought. भगवान ने ये क्रिएशन करा, वो बोला करो जो आपको चाहिए. तो हिटलर आया और हिटलर बोला बस I want to be the king of the world. I want to dominate the world. और हिटलर million people, more than millions, he killed. Innocent children, सबको मार दिया. अब are you willing to tell me that God gave him that blessing that he can do that? That God said, yes, go ahead? No. Never. God is not so stupid or so cruel. Bhagavan though. They can't do. Divine doesn't do things. There is no black and white with the divine. There is no black and white with the divine. There is just light. There is no right or wrong. There is just one consciousness. But Bhagavan created an energy called karma. So you decide, not God decides what you succeed and what you do. God did not make me a doctor. I made myself a doctor, but believe it or not, by using the energy of God. But I applied it. And I decided. God did not decide for me that because you're a good boy, you'll become a doctor. No. God says, you decide. I will help you. So Hitler said, I'm going to create war. God said, go ahead, do it. I don't have to say yes or no. It's your decision. But remember, God created the law of karma, cause and effect. मैं आपको एक थप्पड़ दो तो आप मुझे you'll give me a punch in the nose. Cause and effect. I robbed a bank, I finished my life in jail. And I teach you something that you use and you are happy that you have learned something new, that you have changed your life, that you are healthier. So that's karma. And it's constant. It is 24 hours a day. There is not even 1 second when the law of karma is not active. Your karma 24 hours kaaj karta hai. So even a thought, misled or misthought, creates an energy and it can then harm you. So if you think of something sad, the effect is that you will feel sad because you thought something sad. And you think of something when you're hungry, you think of something delicious to eat and your mouth starts watering or you have the appetite. Okay? And karma is for good or for bad. You do good, the results are good. You do bad, yeah. You make a mistake, you pay the price. You drive too fast and you make an accident. It's not the divine that said there'll be an accident because you're driving fast. So, Hitler was a tyrant, he was a monster, and he destroyed so many lives, but finally he destroyed himself and his nation. Okay? And then you have people like Nelson Mandela. He's a great soul. They put him in jail for what, 26, 27 years? In solitary confinement for something that he had not done. He only wanted the freedom of his country, just like Sri Aurobindo wanted freedom of India. And they put him in jail. And when he came out and he got power, and he could have destroyed all the... He had only to say, go, kill everyone that's white. And believe it or not, they would have massacred every single white being in South Africa because they are in majority. But no, Nelson Mandela is a divine being in that sense. He said, no, all men are equal. And everybody has the same right here in this country. And not a single person was assassinated. Now you can see, he decided that, not the divine. Somebody can say it was the divine grace that helped him. Yes, that's okay, but divine did, he decided. Now, you have to understand this, that you are the main initiator of everything in your life. Not God, not your mother, not your father. You. And talking of you, remember, the most important part of you is to be in good health. That means also physically fit, healthy, emotionally, mentally, financially, socially, and spiritually. So even economically you have to be healthy. And this comes through your being centered. And don't get lost chasing money, chasing knowledge, education and all that. I've known students who gave up everything just to study and finally they were still without a job. And wondering why they did all that. And today they are working as a worker somewhere in a factory. No, you don't. Be centered, then you know what you're doing and why you're doing it. I want to make a very important remark on meditation, rituals, ceremonies. Going to the temple, bringing flowers, performing rituals are something very important, but I want you to understand that it is not the way you think. Again, that is superstition, that you think if you bring to the temple of Ganesha coconut and you break it in front of the temple, the South Indian tradition, you bring flowers and all that, then your prayers will be answered. That is wrong. That is trying to blackmail Ganesha. But Ganesha doesn't get blackmailed. He just sits there and laughs. And he says, okay, bring me all that, but I won't give you what you want because I can't. You do it. So, the importance of all these rituals, there is, but you should know what is right, why. Why a man like me, who's dressed in Western clothes, who has forgotten his Hindi bhul gaya hu, but I light the candles and the light in a symbolic sense, not for answering a prayer of mine, but perhaps transmitting my gratitude and love and joy to the divine. And what is wrong about that? Yes?
We both are a part of a spiritual organization. And basically, as part of this organization, we both are part of a spiritual organization by name Heartfulness Foundation. And this particular spiritual organization, it doesn't propagate any of these
Idol
worshipping or these normal practices what we have as part of our worshipping.
rituals.
Basically the rituals. And what of course we do have meditation which we do on a daily basis. And as part of this meditation, what we do is more of a attitude of gratitude and thanksgiving to the God on a daily basis for whatever we are today and whatever we have today. And to continue doing in the same vein as what we have been doing till today. And so I just wanted to say that, okay, meditation can still be done but basically we need to see as to how do we do that meditation and what we do as part of that meditation.
You also have to know what meditation does. And I 100% agree with what you and your organizations are doing because it's right. But how do I tell a nation of millions who participate in rituals, and at least that is something better than doing war or killing people or stealing. Okay? I'd rather a person go to the temple with superstition because he wants his dream fulfilled or his aspirations fulfilled than not going at all. Okay? But then when they start doing this is another level of evolution of consciousness. You people are far more evolved than the masses. And I would be wrong to tell a child who's trying to learn to ride a bicycle not to use the side wheel to help him. No, he needs that right now. And then automatically when he sees that he's got the balance, he can remove the safety wheels on the side. And so if a nation is suffering with poverty and all these health problems, at least the moment that they are in the temple, this alone I know they are not at war, they are not fighting with somebody, they are not quarreling with somebody. And if I made analysis before they go to the temple and afterwards, again you will see there is an improvement. An American study proved scientifically that people they made 3 groups: people who believe in their religion and practice that, those who believe but don't practice, they don't go to church and all that, and then those who don't believe and don't practice. Naturally they don't practice if they don't believe. And they found out the rate of illness, statistically speaking, was much higher in those who don't believe and don't do rituals, don't go to church, or don't practice. And the incidence was less with those who believe but don't practice. But the best results for health was with those who believed and who practiced. And this was only believing in Jesus Christ and the church and going to church for masses. So I'm saying, how can I tell my country people, hey, don't do all these rituals, don't practice all this superstition. No, continue. I will try to educate you and explain you that you can do more, you can go a step ahead. And there is an energetic aspect that you people are not considering and losing. That there is in offering an energetic thing. Giving and taking is an energetic process. It's very, very healthy. So if you give me a piece of chocolate, I will not say, oh no, you keep it. No, I'll take it. Okay? And if you give me $1 million, I will also stretch out my hand and take it. Why? It is for completing the circle of energy called giving and taking and receiving and giving.
Energy exchange.
Yes, it's very important. So when they go to the temple and you bring flowers and you bring coconut or whatever it is, all these things have wonderful energetic process. But if you become conscious of it, then the benefits are significantly higher. Because I've seen this with my patients. And I teach them how to meditate and so on. So talking of meditation is also kind of a ritual, if you want, a practice. But it is very, very important for you all. When I said I don't meditate at all, it's a lie. I meditate constantly in that way, in that sense. That every breath is a meditative state in me. So it's another level. And so don't say, I won't meditate because I want to be like Madhusudan.
In fact, that word constant meditation, what you used, it's a very important word for us as part of our spiritual association.
Yeah.
It says be always in constant meditation.
Yes. And I'm very active. I am 83, I work 7 days a week. I don't practice medicine anymore. I'm 83. So I don't practice, in other words, I don't get prescriptions and therapies and all that, no. But I give consultation, I use energies to help people improve their energy level status and overcome the disease or illness. And for people who, like you all, meditation, even if you don't do it the right way, for the right purpose and all that, the fact that you're sitting there for a while, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 hours, at least your body has the chance to recuperate. And within no time, you will see that your immune system, your heart beats are